Why I chose Paraguay over Southeast Asia. This is the topic of today's video. I'm going to work in the visa policies, the professional aspirations that you can pursue in these two geographic locations, some of the pros, the cons. Let's get started. Basically, when I decided to move to Southeast Asia, it was more of a lifestyle than a business decision. I was green behind the ears. I was excited to live in the Far East. I was always amazed by the lifestyle of the Orient, and I wanted to taste it. I wanted to know what it was like living in the Far East. So that's where it all started for me. In 2011, and I moved to Kuching, Malaysia. Had the best time of my life ever. Had a really great time, and I don't regret anything. However, having said that, when you're in your early 20s, you're in a very different stage of life than when you're in your early or mid 30s. Life changes. You're always in a different cycle. But back then, I was very inspired by the tropical beach lifestyle, the low cost of living. Luckily, I met someone online. We started working together. He invited me over, and the rest is history. I had a great time. However, I didn't know a lot of the things back then that I know today, such as not being able to become a citizen, such as not being able to own land anywhere I want. It's restricted. Even though you can own it, it has to be for a certain visa, and there are restrictions. It has to be above a certain threshold. It's not like many other countries, especially Western countries. I didn't know that back then. And I also didn't know that the visa policies would change as much as they did over the past, I would say, 4 to 5 years. It's been really horrendous. But I had a great time. But I realized that, I'm not going to keep going like this forever, because you can only be in one cycle for so long. And while all of this is very appealing, I have to think for the long term. And that's when I moved out of Southeast Asia, and I ended up getting residency in the US. Now I got residency in Paraguay, so I'm well taken care of. I'm diversified, and that's great. Now, who would I recommend Asia to? Especially Southeast Asia. I would say someone who is starting to make money online, you want to lower your living costs, and you want to live in a place that's very vibrant. You want to have the great experience of living in a place where you don't age, also known as the Shangri-La. Then I would recommend Southeast Asia, especially when you're young. You don't have any serious family commitments, you have no children, you're not married, you have an online income. I think that's most important. If you don't have a location independent income, you can't do it. So that's always very important, right? To be location independent with your business. However, once that time comes, you'll move on and you will want something different. It happens to most people. But if you're, in that cycle, if you just started where you want to experience life and you want to enjoy yourself, and you don't think about the longevity of things, you want to have a great quality of life for a little money, you want to enjoy, you want to have a different experience, great, do it. However, for me personally, I'm not at a stage where I'm focused on building more assets, because I know that certain people who get started way later on in life, they're going to have a much harder time of making money, because I believe the energy is the best in your 20s and 30s, and then it deteriorates. So once you're in your 50s and 60s, you don't want to be working 80 hours a week anymore. You want to be enjoying the fruits of your labor. And you can only enjoy the fruits of your labor if you have actually created results. If you've actually put in the work. That's what a lot of us tend to forget. So I feel like a lot of the fun-loving Southeast Asia crowd completely forgets about the longevity of things. They think about, this will go on forever. And, I can live on so much money forever. I can spend every dollar that I make on my lifestyle in Vietnam, in Malaysia, Thailand, wherever they are, forever. No, you're mistaken. And you should be looking to create opportunities sooner rather than later. You want to create more opportunities when you don't need them. You don't want to get a job when you need one. You want to get a job when you don't need one. You want to start a business when you don't need one. You want to start multiple businesses when you don't need them. Because when you need something, it's already too late. You want to have a nest egg, you want to have security, you want to have a cushion. You want to have all these financial prerequisites for a successful life where you live off of your income streams, and hopefully passive income streams that require very little monthly maintenance. That's what you want. Not all of us are fortunate to get to this point. Many of us will end up with Social Security, maybe like a pension. However, those of us who work online may not have that, because we pay taxes to different countries. We have maybe companies in different countries. So our future is completely dependent on, it's predicated on our own personal performance, our financial planning, because there's nobody else who takes care of us. And that's how we like to live. That's how we like to structure our life. There's nothing wrong with that. But this approach takes a lot more personal responsibility. It takes a lot more discipline to create the money, save it, invest it, and have income streams than if you were to work a job. A job is more secure than an online business, and online business is not secure. It is an insecure way to live. And you hear this from someone who has done it for 14, 15 years now. So please be careful with that. But I feel like Paraguay is a great place because you can become a resident, you can pay almost no taxes or no taxes legally, so it's great for that. Plus, the low cost of living is very similar to what I experienced in Asia. But at the same time, once you're a legal permanent resident of Paraguay, you're going to be there. And this is for 10 years and this is renewable. This doesn't exist in Asia. Very few places have this option unless you are like a heavy investor, you want to invest millions. You're not going to get this opportunity. So in Paraguay, you get this opportunity for almost no money. So go and do it. Especially if you're like in your late 20s, early mid 30s. This is the time where you want to focus on creating results. Focus on creating results, because if you don't do it now, during your golden years of work, you're never going to do it. Or you're just not going to create as many results as you could have created had you started early on. Think about this for the long term. I personally would much rather sacrifice my 20s and 30s and have less and have a great time in my 40s, 50s, and 60s than hustle, very hard in my 50s and 60s. No, I don't want that, because we don't know about our health. We don't know about our life circumstances. We don't know what happens. But if we dedicate ourselves right here, right now, to creating a life where we preserve capital, where we put in the hard work that it takes to preserve the great future, we will have it. But if we're unwilling to do it, then we're really gambling. We're going to the casino and we're just hoping for things to work out. And if you earn a few thousand a month, you can never spend all that money on your lifestyle. That's not smart. Smart money doesn't do that. Smart money spends a lot less. Smart money doesn't waste money. Smart money does not go out there and blow a lot of money. But this comes from experience, okay? So we all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. But Paraguay is for people who really want to build a life. Paraguay is for people who want to create security. Paraguay is for people who want to get residency, maybe even become a citizen one day. Paraguay is for people who want to own land, houses, apartments, whatever you want to own. Paraguay is for people who want to own 100% of a company without the need of a local partner. You can't do that in most of Asia. So Paraguay is really for people who want more out of life, who are looking for longevity. Southeast Asia is for people who want fun, who are more into like short-term activities, short-term dating, and short-term dating is available everywhere. So that's not uniquely, Southeast Asian. That's everywhere. In Europe, in North America, and Africa, everywhere is short-term dating. But, specifically, that's why people are drawn to the region. It's one of the biggest attractions, right? Plus, of course, the cost of living and the laid-backness, and just that you don't have to worry about much. However, it doesn't go on like this forever. Visa policies can change like this. Anything can change. As we have seen, a health crisis can hit. Maybe next a financial crisis or some other crisis like a war. Who knows? Anything can happen, right? And the door closes and then you may have to leave with no savings. Do you want that? No, you want to have savings. As long as you have money, you'll have options. The moment you run out of money, you will not have options. So think about this. Really discipline yourself, because you only have this one life. And again, you much rather want to dedicate your 20s and 30s towards this hard work than do it in later on in life, because you don't know about your energy, you don't know about your family circumstances, you don't know about your health, you don't know about any of that. You hope that you're going to be healthy until your 70s and 80s, but there's no guarantee. Anything can happen. We don't know. So do it now. Preserve capital. Go live anywhere you want, but I'm not telling you why I chose Paraguay over Southeast Asia. You want to do the same, right? You want to really focus on longevity and just learn from my mistake. I blew a lot of money in Southeast Asia when I was in my early and mid-20s. I got better in my late 20s. Early mid-20s, I was not so smart. I was very green behind the ears. I just blew all the money for a number of reasons. I was drawn to certain attractions and a certain lifestyle that I wanted to have. And I wanted to show people how cool I was, how much money I was making, what I could afford, that I could spend, like $10,000 on a vacation. And that was already like 10 years ago. I want to prove people that I am more than that. No, I don't need to do that anymore now. Smarter. I buy real estate. I buy precious metals. I save money. I invest in my business. I create assets. I hold cryptos. I do these things. Back then it was like, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Whoa. Now it's different. So learn from my experience. Do the best that you can. Get residency. Move to a low-cost country. Pay less in taxes. If you can do all these things, you're going to maximize your savings and you're going to preserve a future that you yourself will be proud of. If you're interested in obtaining residency in Paraguay, please contact us. We'd love to help you. You should see our website link displayed below the video. We're also running a special promo this month, so contact us now. Do it now. Take advantage of this great deal where you don't have to prove economic solvency to get residency. This is the best deal ever. Do it now. You will thank me years later because you've saved a lot of money, you've had a great life, and now you can do whatever you want to do. That's sometime down in the future. So contact us now. We look forward to working with you. Thank you for watching Nomad Elite, and we see you on the next video.